came out at the last event and burst a tire at 200 kilometers an hour going down towards turn 5. Had a same and similar issue with another brand new tire during the course of qualifying this morning. Started off on the correct pressure, and by the time that he came into the pits, the pressure had gone down again. So trying to work out where the problem lies. Is it the tire? Is it the rim? Either way, if there's a drop in pressure, it's going to affect the handling of the car and could negate any possibility of completing this race. So let's hope for his sake that it all stays together, because there's a good couple of very quick cars at the front end of the grid. Shane Smith, Jaco Lambert, MP Pretorius, Carl Visser, and then the man we just spoke about, Jess Huggett. That's all the Class A cars that's going to be out there for this race. Number 1, Thermo Clubman Saloons.
Right, and of course Wayne Wilson also had a problem this morning with the car that wouldn't fire up. He said everything was A-OK yesterday, last night everything was fine, and then had a problem getting the car fired up. So let's have a look and see if he's there, because remember, he never posted a time. And then Michael is here. I see Gaza is going to be a pit lane starter. Have a look as the Clubman's cars roll through. But before we do the commentary, I'm going to hand over to Clint. Clint, before we start this one, any news Clubman's related?
Hi, Frankie. Yes, Michael has got a pit lane start for rule infringement. So he'll be starting from pit lane.
I take it that rule infringement was leaving the pit lane while there was cars oncoming, which was a very, very close one. That was actually picked up by the commentary team, so I take it it's that incident?
It's a previous race meetings incident.
Okay, well, there was another incident this morning where a car was released from the pit lane with oncoming cars right up against the wall. It was, let's call it marginal.
Okay, you're making me able to go look at footage, Gary.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dangerous one this morning, but so be it. The latest news from the class?
We're growing. We had 35 entries this morning. Obviously, I'm one of them that's out. I just nearly got the car ready. There's a few that's dropped along the way, but we're 35. We're going for 40 next meeting, definitely.
And Cody Alberts with a new car?
Cody Alberts with a new car. The car looks too pretty, so he's not going to take any chances.
Once it gets the first scratch from there on out, you just hit the button.
So I think somebody must just make some scratches on the car so he can start racing properly.
We'll key it as we walk past it. And nice to have Jess Huggett, half a season that he hasn't raced.
Yes, it's good to have Jess back. We know that he's a little bit slower. I think the marriage has drained a bit of his energy there.
You do know that his new wife is listening.
Yeah. So it's her fault.
So about that party that you're not invited to tonight. As they work their way down the back main, Clint, the whole series, Thermo Clubman's going pretty strongly 2025.
It's going pretty strongly 2025, and we're just growing it more and we're growing it more. So,
is there more cars in garages that is destined to join us before the end of the year?
There's at least 15 still to come. This year,
wow.
15, yes.
And in general, is it the lower classes or the higher classes?
It's actually spread throughout. There's maybe 1 or 2 in the front, but the lower classes where we want the numbers up, and the majority of them are the lower classes.
And I see we've got Clinton Bezuidenhout that has come from GTI Challenge to Clubman's.
Yes, we'll see what happens there. It's a different driving style with Clubman's and GTI Challenge, slightly, but I'm sure you'll fit in.
Slightly?
Slightly.
Okay, that's your word for the day.
Slightly.
The difference between GTI Challenge and Clubman's is slightly different driving style. Just about good to go. Thermo Clubman's coming off the line down towards turn number 1. Who's going to be able to get that whole shot? Pretorius on the inside line, going to try and hold it out, but going to be Visser that's going to go around the outside.
Right, they nose to tail, all of them, as they make their way out of turn number 1, out of block coin corner. Shane Smith has dropped down into that second position as they work their way through. Graham van Rooyen busy coming through. Trappist van Tonders in the house as well. David Vermaak, just to name a few names that we're picking up here as they go through. Oh, Deelwood Lambert's got trouble with a Beetle already at the exit of block coin.
Yeah, they're going to have to get that car off the circuit. Looks like it's MP Pretorius that leads out from Shane Smith at the front end of the pack. Jess Huggett in that 5th position. Looks like just about, whoopsie, getting that golf pretty sideways. And it's looking like everybody is going to be able to complete lap number 1 as they work their way down towards turn number 5, Pertamina Fastron.
Jaco Lambert is the man that's sitting out there in P1, but not for long because Shane Smith has just made a move around him on the outside. So Smith has taken that lead away there from Jaco Lambert as they make their way through. All of them busy coming out. Pretorius is coming through there as well. There is Graham van Rooyen, and right behind Graham van Rooyen, we've got Trappist van Tonda. So here they go through. It is Smith from Lambert, from Visser, MP Pretorius, Jess Huggett, Gary Smith, Clinton Besaidenout, Dylan Jabir. They're right nose to tail. There's Jacobs coming through as well at the exit of Blockcoin Corner. There is Smith coming through. That is Gary Smith. He's got Clinton Besaidenout on his tail. Oh, the cars are out of shape, out of line as they head through Castrol Corner. But the leaders are working their way towards turn number 4. Saddle sweep. Shane Smith in P1. Second is Jaco Lambert. Third is Carl Visser. Then it's MP Pretorius. And right behind him is Jess Huggett, followed there by Gary Smith and Clinton Besaidenout.
Yeah, Gary Smith and Clinton Besaidenout in quite a battle as they work their way down the back main, turn towards turn 5. And Smith is starting to become the dominant factor in this race.
So as the field works its way out of Blockcoin there, we see Besaidenout getting himself slightly sideways there as he's right on the case of Gary Smith. The field working across the start-finish line, back into turn number 1, back into Blockcoin Corner. Shane Smith, Jaco Lambert, Carl Visser right on his heels, followed there by MP Pretorius and Jess Huggett. There's Pretorius, there's Jess Huggett right on his heels. That's the first 5 cars, followed there by Gary Smith, and just coming out of Blockcoin Corner is Clint Besaidenout, and right behind him is Graham van Rooyen and Dylan Jabir.
Yeah, behind Jabir is Van Tonda, and it's nice to have Trappies back out there on the circuit. And then our first lady racer, 11th overall right now.
Now that's Gemma O'Lean, and right behind her is Arno Michaels, but we go back to the leading group on the Tygerberg Straight, and there's nothing separating these three. They're on the dirt, they're all over the place, and Shane Smith's got his hands full. Smith has got his hands full. He's trying to get away from Jaco Lambert. Lambert's been hassled by Visser. Visser's been hassled by MP Pretorius, who in turn has been hassled by Jess Huggett as they make their way out of Pertamina Fastron.
I think Jess Huggett is dropping off the back end of this pack. I wonder if it's not a recurring tyre problem once again, but still quick enough to stay ahead of Smith in the 71 car. That's the leader in Class B.
There's Graham van Rooyen. Behind him is Jabir and Van Tonda, but we're back to this leading group of 4, make it 5, that is working their way through. Yes, Huggett. Behind Huggett is Gary Smith. Behind Gary Smith, Clinton Besaidenout. Then Graham van Rooyen coming through. Behind van Rooyen, it's Dylan Jabir and Francois Trappist van Tonda. Then Gemma O'Lean has got Arno Michaels there as the cars come through. Wilson, there's Lehman, and behind Lehman is Griffin Wintle in the 37 car.
Well, I think we answered our own question there. Did Wilson get out? Yep, he is out there on track.
That was Steve Griffin Wintle I was talking about earlier on. As we go a bit further down, there's Lehman in that Corsa, and then behind him is Steve Griffin Wintle. But where the leaders, down the back straight they go, racing towards turn number 5, towards Pertamina Fastron, down that Kalani straight, and the 4 of them are riveted to each other. It's Smith, it is Visser, that's now gone up into that 2nd position. Then it's Lambert, followed by Pretorius. That's the front 4. Where's Jess? Jess just hanging on there. Then, here we go now, with 4 more laps to go. So we're halfway into this race. It is Shane Smith, Carl Visser, Jaco Lambert, MP Pretorius, Jesse Huggett. Right behind Jess is Gary Smith, Dylan Joubert, right on his heels. Then that red machine of Graham van Rooyen, and Trappist van Tonder has been overtaken there by Dylan Joubert. So it's Joubert into Blockcoin, followed there by van Tonder. And then it is Wayne Wilson that sits there in P11.
Well, I tell you what, they are pretty spread out now, but the pace is very, very quick. At the end of the day, there is at least the front 5 are running in the mid 122s to 123. So the temperatures are right, the track surface, even though it's rained so much, there's still lots and lots of grip out there as our leaders work their way back down into Pertamina Fastron.
Into Fastron they go. That's turn number 5, Pertamina Fastron. And
Visser
these
locks.
4 guys are nose to tail. And here comes Visser. He tries it outside. It's not going to work there. It's not going to work there on Shane Smith with Lambert, Pretorius and Huggett rounding off the top 5. Jess Huggett has certainly got some kind of issue. It may be that tyre problem. He's dropping way down. As a matter of fact, Gary, he must be careful as you watch the first 4 go through. Jess is going to drop into the hands of Gary Smith and Dylan Joubert pretty soon. And behind them, we've got Van Rooyen and Van Tonder.
Oh, there's Gary Smith that works his way through. Clinton Bezuidenhout. Van Rooyen goes through. Well, I do believe that Joubert's doing a pretty decent job with Trappies. That's right in there. It was like Trappies has raced at the last meeting.
Yeah, here comes, and I see that Michaels has got his nose ahead there of O'Lean, followed there by Wilson, Griffin Wilton, Griffin Wintle, sorry. And then we've got Vermaak and Anton Jacobs. But the leaders once again, Gaza, racing down that back Kalani straight towards turn number 5, Pertamina Fastron. Normally it's 1 or 2 leaders. Now any 3 of these 4 can win this one. Our friend from Windhoek, from Tony Rust Circuit there, MP Pretoria, sitting right in that fight as well as they come down towards us. And he's diving up on the inside of Jaco Lambert, and for the first time in a long time, Jaco Lambert's got his work cut out. Lambert on the inside line, and Lambert holds that 3rd spot ahead there of Pretorius.
Well, Pretorius has done a pretty decent job, but then again, so has Smith. If you think about it, he's been the pace setter. 122.475 is one of the fastest laps that there has been so far. I see some smoke trailing from Jess Huggett.
Well, I just picked up Van Rooyen's car coming through. There is Gary Smith and Clinton Bezuidenhout. There's Graham van Rooyen coming into shot there. And then behind him is Dylan Joubert. And right on the case of Joubert is Wilson, Trappist van Tonder and Michael Lessieur.
Yep, right behind one another. Lessieur a long way down, but then again, he didn't start on the front end of the grid. So pretty much to be expected, but he's done a pretty good job ahead of Arno Michaels and Jenna O'Lean, as our lead cars are going to be coming straight back towards us underneath the city of Cape Town Bridge, Castrol and Lime Property Management, and they are side by side. That is now a war that's going on. Visser is in the game.
Well, they've got a couple of slower cars that they've got to try and get past first. And they're picking up the slower cars. We've got a new leader. Carl Visser has got his nose up front.
Oh,
Visser has got his nose up front from Smith. He's dropped down to 2nd. Then it's Lambert and Pretorius. Now, these back markers are going to have to just hold their line and let these 4 go through, because this could change the face of this whole race as they work their way through Lundstem Kink and into T3 Damstip.
Yeah, this is the last lap that they're on now as well. This is probably of the last of the traffic that they're going to pick up. It's Visser from Smith that work their way through. And just look at that, a whole big bunch of cars. They all get through somehow or other. Luckily, the guys at the in the back markers make enough space. Oh, look at that, Smith right on the back bumper of Visser. Fisher's going to try and hold on that inside line. Smith is going on the outside. Lambert is right in there, ahead of Pretorius as well as they go down for the last time into Pertamina fast run. I think Carl's got the drive. Carl's got the drive. Shane just gets a bit of a nudge on the back bumper. Frankie bring them towards the line.
Pretorius is off the circuit slightly. Here they come towards a checkered flag. I'm going to look out the window. It's going to be Fisher. No, it's Smith from Fisher, from Lambert, and then Pretorius across the line. Can you believe it? It was as close as that across the line. Where's Jess?
Jess Huggett makes it across the line.
Yes.
He takes up that 5th position. So all good. He went through. Then the first of the Class Bs, the second of the Smiths out there ahead of Clinton Mercedes, who is a Class X. Van Rooyen coming through second in Class B. And then the Sear, the Class A entry that started a way back at the back of the 10th position, but he made up a good bit of ground.
Yeah, and of course Wayne Wilson got to the flag ahead of all of them in Class X. He finished in P8. Michael Asier got to the flag ahead of Dylan Jabir and ahead of Trappis van Tonder. And this last ice to the flag is Onu Michaels, Gemma O'Lean, Lehman, and then Steve Griffin-Wintle, followed by David Vermaak. Wow, what a race we had out there for Thermo Fire's Clubman's Regional Saloons race number 1.
I think this is the last 2 cars coming through now.
That's Eva de Toy in the Ford Falcon.
And Chris Roberts.
That's quite right.
All right, that wraps it up. Race number 1, Thermo Fire's Clubman Saloons. A closing word from Clint Renard. Pretty much what you expected. You can't say yes because it's completely different.